Hi guys, so I'm going to do another vlog today, only this one's going to be different. I'm not doing just a regular old pregnancy update. I am going to start doing some more videos outside of that. This video is going to be my breastfeeding must-haves. I have breastfed both of my babies. My first one was only for 4 months, and then my milk supply dwindled down. And then my youngest, we ended up making it to 10 months until I had surgery to remove a kidney stone. So I'm pretty good when it comes to the must-haves. First must-have for that is you're going to want a pillow. I loved my Boppy pillow, and it was the greatest thing that I had ever purchased. We spent $35 on the Boppy pillow at Kmart when she was a couple months old, because the one that I had bought at a yard sale was not the greatest. It was a handmade one. It was cute, but it didn't work out too well. So I got a brand new one, which I'm going to do with this one as well, because she uses her Boppy pillow on a daily basis. She sleeps with it every night still. So the Boppy pillow is worth the money no matter what. You will use it. It makes you more comfortable. You don't have to slouch when you're breastfeeding. It just makes it so much easier. Another must-have is, instead of spending money on them disposable breast pads, don't waste your money. They're junk. They don't hold very much, and you keep having to buy more. I bought reusable ones, and they come in, the ones that I got were like a pack of 4. I've got a coupon from my doctor's office. I'm going to order some a pack of 12, or there's a pack of 7 or 14 or something like that. I think it's 14. You get them for like $7 a piece, but I got a $30 coupon for that place to get them. But they have different kind of designs on it, and I'll try and put down in the description of the website where you can go. I've also got a website for a Boppy pillow, which some of them actually have, like the nursing pillow. I seen recently has a 40% off sale going on right now on their pillows. So that may be something that you want to look into. I will link that one down below also. Another must-have for me was my nursing cover. I loved my nursing cover. I used it all the time because I'm not, granted, I do not down any woman that can sit out there and breastfeed anywhere you go and just whip it out. I have no issue with people doing that because you got to feed your kid. But I am not comfortable myself doing that. So I would rather put a cover over myself because it's more of a self-conscious thing about my own body. It's not because I'm ashamed of what I'm doing. I'm definitely not ashamed of what I'm doing. I am giving my baby the best thing that I can give her. Or him, whichever it is. Nursing cover. They have new nursing covers that you can use as a scarf. You can use it as a nursing cover. You can use it as a car seat cover. I will also link that website in the description for that. Breast pump is another must-have. Even if you're not going to work, I suggest getting a breast pump, even if it's a manual. I'm going to get a manual and a electric. My insurance covers the electric breast pump, so I've already ordered my breast pump. I'm getting a Lancino. I think that's what it is. Lancino, Lenoche. I don't know exactly how you pronounce it, but that is the brand that I'm going to be using this time. Medela is the one that I used before. Seems to me it could have just been my pump, but both pumps that I had my last pregnancy, or well, the last time I breastfed, were Medela, and they quit working fairly quickly. The suction wasn't the greatest, so but it could be just that I needed to replace a piece that I did not realize, because I was still learning at that point, because I had the first pregnancy, I didn't use a breast pump because I only made it 4 months and she nursed off of me. I didn't even realize the breast pump and pumping into bags and freezing. I didn't realize all that, so I watched a bunch of videos online, and I'm sorry, my camera is everywhere. I don't have an actual camera. I have to record from my phone for a while until I can afford to get a camera. So I may be bouncing around. I'm trying to resituate myself because baby's causing me pain. Or well, the pregnancy, not baby, but the pregnancy is causing me pain because of the weight gain. But so I'm going to try a different pump this time, which Medela, I do like the Medelas. And if it would have been one of them that I could have gotten, I would have probably ordered one. But my insurance only covered the Lancino, the Motif or Motif, and then in Evenflow. And I watched reviews on all of them, and the Lancino got the best reviews. So I went ahead with the Lancino. Another must-have is, I'm going to say, is the milk bags, the storage milk bags. I recommend, and I'm not saying it because I'm required to say it, they're not sponsoring my video or anything. I am a fan of Lancino breast milk bags. They are the best. You can put them flat in the freezer. They will freeze, and then they're like this thin when you're done, depending on how much milk you end up pumping. If you pump a full bag, it's going to be thicker than that. It's going to be about like this. But it gives you more space in your freezer to put milk. Like, I'm on my double-sided refrigerator, I always put my bags in one of the shelves on the door. Instead of putting them in a big old stack in the rest of the freezer, I just put them in the door. And I could fit probably 15, 20 bags in just one row. So the Lancino I definitely recommend, because I've been told, or I've actually seen other videos, and I've seen how the other bags are, and they're not the greatest. And then you can't really freeze them in a bottle. And milk's only good for so many days, and you want to have a little bit of a stash just in case something happens. Like, you go to the hospital, like when I had to have my surgery. I never expected to have kidney stone surgery. So in me having that stash, I had quite a big stash. I had probably 40 or 50 bags of milk in the freezer. So pumping is a definite must. I don't know about the nipple cream because I've never used it. I couldn't really afford to get it with my other pregnancies, but I'm going to try and make sure that I get some this time because you do have pains. I'm going to recommend getting the starter kit, the Lancino starter kit. It comes with a freezable cool pack. You can reuse it. Sometimes you want to buy... Sorry, my video cut out. I've got to start another video. Sometimes you want to buy a nipple inverter because some women have nipples that stay tucked in. I am one of them women. I have to make my nipple come out for the baby. This time I'm going to be getting some of those, I can't remember what they're called. I think they're like, no, they're not a Milkies. It's something that you can put in your bra for while you're not nursing. And it will keep any milk that leaks, if you do leak, will go into these little things, and then you can pour it into a bag or a bottle or something of that nature later on whenever you're home or wherever you're going to go to, once it fills up, because you do tend to get engorged. That is why I recommend getting a manual pump, or get some kind of pump that you can use in your vehicle, because you're going to need it. If you take a long trip, you're going to need it. Like with my youngest, I see you. With my youngest, we lived about 45 minutes from the hospital. So in that time, I ended up getting engorged because it had been a while when we left the hospital since she had nursed. And I'm also going to recommend that you nurse before you leave the hospital. But I ended up getting engorged, and she was sleeping. So I ended up having to hand express all the way home, on the way home, because I got engorged. There was another time that I ended up having to hand express because we went to friends that lived over an hour away, and I had to hand express. So I definitely recommend getting a hand pump. That is a definite must-have. What else? There's a lot of things that come in handy when it comes to breastfeeding. Get you a piece of paper and a pencil to sit down and write down what you pumped, when you pumped it, or you need to make sure you have a permanent marker to write on the bag. Whenever you're going to put it in the fridge or the freezer, you need to make sure that you have plenty of storage bottles. Like Medela has storage bottles, Lancino has storage bottles. The Kindy Twist is another good one. I like the Kindy Twist. I actually want to try that, but I've not had the money to get that either. I've wanted to try it with my last 2 pregnancies. Make sure that you have with your pump, if you have them little bitty white membranes, stock up on them membranes, because them things you have to change depending on how often you pump. Like, I was a working mom, and I worked at a nursing home at night for anywhere from 12 to 6 hours. So I would take my pump to work, and I'd pump and pump and pump. Well, I was pumping every 2 hours. Well, you figure if you're working I was working 10 to 6, or 10 to 7 is what I was working. And sometimes I'd go in earlier. Ouch! Sometimes I would go in earlier to work, and I'd be pumping more. So with me pumping as much as I was needing to change out my membranes at least once a month. So make sure to stock up on those. I think that is all for the must-haves when it comes to breastfeeding. Just definitely make sure that you get you something to help with the soreness of your nipples, because if you don't, you are going to want to get away from breastfeeding, because I did with my first one. It was horrible. Worst pain I had ever felt in my life, but I still continued to do it as long as she would do it. But some people just, they can't handle it. Thank you for watching my video. If you have any questions, I would be happy to answer them. I know I'm a little scattered. I apologize. Shh. I apologize for the kind of all over the place and stopping and thinking, because I've got pregnancy brain. It's been horrid on the pregnancy brain. But I wanted to get this video out there because I know first-time moms don't really know what they're getting themselves into when it comes to breastfeeding and things like that. And I just want to say to any woman that is even thinking about breastfeeding, try and try again. It is the best. I loved the bond between me and my daughter, and we still have that bond, even though she only breastfed for 10 months, and she's no longer breastfeeding. We have the best bond that I've ever had with anybody because I breastfed my daughter. And sometimes she still, like, when she was a little bit older, she still remembered. She didn't want to go back to it. She got too used to the bottle. I definitely recommend not using specific bottles. Dr. Brown I used, and it didn't confuse her. Tommy Tippy, I definitely recommend. Them were my #1 bottles when I was breastfeeding my little girl Emily. I used the Tommy Tippy bottles, and they were the best bottle. We had no issues. And you want to make sure that you have the slow flow so that it's more like getting milk from mom. They have some new ones out that are very expensive, but if you can get the Tommy Tippy, if you're on a budget, Tommy Tippy is the #1 bottle to get for that. Or you can get the Medela or the Lancino bottles and nipples. Them ones are also more like nature. And I've been told that the Avent is also another good one to use while breastfeeding. Thank you for watching my video, and have a wonderful rest of your day.